Late night confessions. Sophia pulled into the parking lot, her body aching from the long shift. Her short brown hair was disheveled, and her green eyes were weary from the day's trauma. As an ER nurse, she was used to tough cases, but today had been different. A man about 32 years old had been rushed in after a bad car accident. His injuries were severe, and the team worked hard to stabilize him, but his heart gave out. Sophia had seen many deaths in her career, but this one felt close, too raw. After the patient passed, her colleague Dr. Emma Rivera had softly asked, "Are you okay?" "Not really," Sophia had answered, forcing a small, sad smile. She couldn't let Emma see how much she wasn't okay. Now, as she knocked on her best friend's door, she tried to push the sadness aside. The door swung open, and her son Max came running out with his bag already packed. "Hi, Mom," Max said, hugging her tightly. "Hey, sweet boy," Sophia replied, holding him close. "I needed that." "You look tired, dear," her friend and former neighbor Mario said from the doorway. "Rough day." "Yeah, really rough," Sophia replied, her voice quieter than usual. "Max had a good night," Mario said. "He ate pancakes for dinner and did his homework." "Thanks so much," Sophia said, grateful. "All right, Max, say goodbye to Mario." After a round of goodbyes, Sophia and Max headed home. Once they arrived, she helped him get ready for bed. He read his favorite book, The Little Prince, to her, and as his voice lulled, her mind drifted back to the events of the day, the patient's death and the conversation she needed to have. Something had been weighing on her heart for months, and she wasn't sure how much longer she could hold it in. When Max finally fell asleep, Sophia went to her own room. The silence of the night filled her mind with thoughts she had tried to avoid. She showered, letting the water wash away the exhaustion but not the restless feelings stirring inside her. She dressed for bed and lay down, but sleep wouldn't come. She picked up her phone and stared at the screen. Her thumb hovered over the messaging app for what felt like forever. Taking a deep breath, she typed a message. "Hey, are you awake?" She hesitated but hit send. Almost instantly, the phone buzzed. "Yeah, what's up?" Sophia's heart raced. She almost backed out but decided to push forward. "Can we talk?" "In person." After a few moments of silence, the reply came. "Okay, give me a minute." Sophia slipped on her hoodie and stepped outside. The cool air hit her skin, sending a shiver down her spine. But it wasn't just the cold that made her tremble. When she saw Emma walking toward her, her nerves shot through the roof. Emma's warm brown eyes met hers as she approached, wrapped in a casual sweater. Her smile was soft but curious. "Hey," Emma greeted, her voice gentle. "Hey," Sophia replied, her voice shaky. "What's going on?" Emma asked. "You seemed really off earlier." Sophia hesitated, feeling the weight of the words she was about to say. I need to tell you something." Emma looked concerned and took a step closer. "What is it?" "You're scaring me." Sophia's eyes welled up as she struggled to find the words. Finally, she looked at Emma and whispered, "I love you." Emma's eyes widened, and for a moment time stood still. Sophia braced herself for rejection, the fear gnawing at her insides. But instead, Emma stepped closer, gently taking Sophia's hand. "I love you too," Emma said, her voice barely above a whisper. Sophia blinked, hardly believing what she had heard. "You do?" Emma nodded. "For a long time, actually. I was just too afraid to say anything. It's complicated. We work together, we've been friends for years, and—" "I know," Sophia cut in, "but I couldn't keep it inside anymore." Emma smiled softly. "I'm glad you didn't." They stood there for a moment, letting the quiet of the night settle around them. Sophia felt a weight lift from her chest. It wasn't perfect and it wasn't easy, but at least now they both knew. After a while, Emma broke the silence. "Tomorrow, after we drop the kids off at school, let's talk. Really talk." Sophia smiled. I'd like that. They hugged before parting ways, each with a sense of relief, knowing that whatever happened next, they would face it together. As Sophia watched Emma walk back to her apartment, her heart still pounded in her chest, but it wasn't from fear anymore. There was relief, warmth even, and an unexpected sense of calm. For months she had wrestled with her feelings, hiding them behind friendly smiles and professional interactions. Now she couldn't believe it was all out in the open. Returning to her own apartment, she quietly closed the door behind her and checked in on Max. He was fast asleep, his little body sprawled out across the bed, his face peaceful. Sophia smiled, feeling a surge of gratitude for the simplicity of his world. His innocence reminded her that, even though her life felt complicated, there were still these moments of pure love and connection. She slipped into bed, pulling the covers up and staring at the ceiling again. Her phone buzzed beside her. I can't believe we finally said it, Emma's message read. Sophia chuckled to herself, typing back quickly. Neither can I. Honestly, I'm still kind of in shock. I've wanted to say something for so long. You have no idea how many times I've almost said it. Sophia paused before replying. Same. I kept thinking it would mess everything up. It doesn't feel messed up, does it? Emma asked. Sophia smiled to herself. No, it doesn't. It feels right. There was a pause in the conversation, and Sophia's heart sped up again as she waited for Emma's reply. Finally, it came through. I'm glad you're in my life, Sophia. Tears welled up in Sophia's eyes as she read the words. She typed back. I'm glad you're in mine too. For the first time in what felt like weeks, a sense of peace settled over her. She didn't have all the answers, and there were still 1,000 questions spinning in her mind about what would happen next. But for tonight, that was enough. Tomorrow they would talk. Tomorrow they would figure it out. But for now, Sophia could sleep knowing that, for once, she had been honest with herself, and with Emma. The rest, she realized, would come in time. Her phone buzzed one last time. Sleep well, sophomore, tomorrow is a new day. Sophia smiled and closed her eyes, feeling lighter than she had in ages. Good night, Emma.